Alright, let's go. Tournament is about to start soon, so be ready anytime. And we're gonna have some fun playing Dual Commander today. Just checking the last things I'm supposed to do right now. And yeah, we got some synchronization to do, the TOs. Alright. I'm gonna keep you waiting and put some fucking music in the background. I hope you hear me well. Let's put some whatever music I find in the background, and I'm gonna put it low so I don't spam your ears. So people are joining, and we should start pretty soon. People are trying the tournament stuff, and I think we should be good pretty soon. Alright, people are in place now. And we're ready to comment. It's gonna be cool! I'm going to finish eating a while, but it's not gonna take a long time. So we got the list, but I cannot show the list to you. And everything is going to be ready soon. Ten minutes. Alright, let's start soon. 3 or 4 minutes. Alright, it looks like we are ready to start. Let's change this and get ready for the first quarterfinals of this. Because that's only a quarterfinals, there's only 8 men, so we're gonna have 8 players. And yeah, it's 1 minute to start. Microwave is ringing. I'm gonna get you soon, microwave. I'm gonna join the other channel, the French one as well. And mute it. And it looks like the people are finally going to start. I will just shut my microwave down and kill it before it just makes me mad. Come on, microwave, you're doing noise. Because I haven't eaten yet, but it's not going to be a problem. So, the first round, we're gonna have some the arena action versus some Euro action. So, quick recap: the arena is, and I don't think I can make a great zoom, so I'm just going to try to make a great zoom for you guys and have this like that. Maybe it's gonna be better if you won't be able to see it anyway. So so ridiculous thing on the right side is still pulling from the last arena. Oh, yeah, I should just kill it actually. Thing is, I'm streaming Magic the Gathering, and you see the yeah, okay. I'm just trying to make it be very precisely pixel perfect, fitting into the chat. So yeah, I don't even think. Thing is, you're talking about the Stream Decker extension, right? And it's still it is still here. All right, the show hands. Oh. Let's assume they're not live. This is just a problem, right? Not sure I should be streaming the players' hands actually. I just have a doubt about that. I mean, it's more interesting for everyone here. But the players are on Cockatrice and they could also look at the windows at the same time. So I think I'm gonna hide the hands, which is not cool. Yeah, I don't think I can hide the hands in Cockatrice. So I'm going to find a quick solution for that. Oh, it's not supposed to happen. I mean, it's good for you that you show the hands, but the thing is, they could just go live on Twitch and cheat a little, so I'll try to fix that for the next game, okay? So right now I will just stay like that. So, as you know, we got a Verena, Lich Queen here. So basically, Falakura's deck on the top is about nothing. It's just a control deck, like you would expect it to be an Esper control deck with... no, they're not prizes for this. It's just a purely friend players tournament. ZAP teams have selected. Tell me if you don't hear me well, by the way. They selected the top, not the top 8 players, but 8 players from the top 8 players of the previous tournaments over the last year. So yeah, they had like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it was 10 tournaments. It was 10 monthly and 2 Master Series tournaments. So 100 players all the time, and the Master Series were 219 and 232 players. And yeah, we can ask the people not to look at the stream, but of course it is just going to be a problem. Also, please, this is Cockatrice. It's not really a fun thing to stream, so. You should be selecting, if your connection allows you to, 180p with 60 frames per second if you want connection. Otherwise, I'm going to try to hover the cards as much as I can, because I don't think you're going to see the miniatures, even though you could recognize from the arts and the Cockatrice sticker text on the left. But sometimes it's hard if you just have a bad connection and you go, down. So don't hesitate to ask me. So Verena Lich Queen, I got the list. I cannot show you the list at the same time I should, but I won't be doing that. It's pretty control-ish, right? As you can see, he's already playing in hand. He's got Dismember, Manalik, and Balance. So it's really, really control. There's no win condition apart from the commander itself. There are planeswalkers. I think he plays 2 of them, 4 of them, 2 that can really kill. Kill. Well, Jace the Man's also can kill. Narset cannot kill. Teferi Time Raveler cannot kill. And Teferi Hero of Dominaria can somehow prevent the players from actually being in the game for the rest of the game. So this is not really a killer. And regarding creatures, you only got 5 of them, and all of them are delve creatures. So you got all of them. I mean, all the not useless one are them. So you got the mandatory Snapcaster Mage, of course, and he's playing Thing in the Eyes too, but this is not really going to be a kill until lots of turns. And he's also playing Cryptic Serpent, Gormog Lair, and Tombstalker. So that's basically the only things that can kill into Thalakkos deck on top, right? And on Mars, on the bottom, he's got a nickname that's different from his usual nickname, Mars, who's, yes, let's face it, a member of the duel committee as well. So I'm not going to support more or less one of the players, but being one of my best friends, you know what I'm going to say. So yeah, these people, yeah, I hope you can see from the text and the art. It's not always very easy, but sometimes, so yeah. Also, the deck lists are pretty conventional. I mean, if you don't know what Euro is, maybe you don't, because some people could join and not see what Euro is. Euro is just one of the latest additions to Magic the Gathering. Actually, the latest addition to Magic the Gathering so far, because Ikoya and Commander from Ikoya have not been released yet. So it starts next week in Asia and a few countries. So far, it's the latest cards from Magic the Gathering. So yeah, Euro is a pretty solid commander, which is fun because it can be escaped for 4 mana, which is heavily color intensive, but due to color identity, you just don't need that problem, you know. So remember, Euro allows you to put 1 additional land on the battlefield, and it's also working when it attacks. So in the end, it could be the Ram deck. You know, there are several kills into Mars's deck on the bottom. Like, it's basically, I wouldn't say creature based. It's a blue deck. It's an exclusively blue deck with, let's say, 6 spells or 7 spells, I think, from the whole list that are green. So Coatl, Ice Fang Coatl, this one is one of our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green spells in the deck. Yes, so it's basically a blue deck. So those decks are both controlish, and I think it's about who's get to dominate the board. So far, we have seen a remand putting back the commander in hand for Thalakkar, and Thalakkar is just basically, you know, filtering his top deck, because Arena allows you to exile 2 cards from your graveyard, and it doesn't check but those cards are creatures. You just exile anything but the zombie ETB is tapped, so you cannot have a surprise blocker or stuff like that. So yeah, of course there won't be cheating, you know, because those people are pretty good players and pretty fair players usually. So there are some bad guys in this world, and they were not invited to this tournament. This is merely to just entertain you at home, and because the main event that was supposed to happen in May is cancelled, and cannot tell you too much about this, but I think the very large event, the ZAP Masters, that usually welcomes 300 players, is going to have to be postponed due to the COVID-19 crisis in France. We are still confined at home right now, for you who don't know about the situation in France. Not every country has the same decision, so yeah. We are confined. Alright, that was just a meta reminder, if you need anything else about the situation. So, what they need to is basically wait and attack. Needless to say, so far, I think the advantage is on Euro. It seems like it's for Euro. The players are, of course, communicating a lot. I should be putting the chat back. Yeah. The players have been asked by the judges to be slightly more verbatim, you know, verbose than they are used to be on Cockatrice, because First of all, as you can see in the chat, the people who are connected right now are just only the casters, casting in French. I'm just restreaming or streaming from Catrice, and my own face, and judges, right? So they have been asked in those very special circumstances to be judges on a virtual tournament, which is really hard because you cannot interact with the players well. They have everything set up on the side to discuss verbally by chat, and also if they can call the judges on Discord. Everything is set up, so if they have a doubt or need a judge and the judges are watching, it's okay, right? They're just discussing. Also, they're discussing in French, so I'm gonna have to translate whatever they say. And they say that what was the resolution target? I'm just thinking about what they did. Preordain. Oh yeah, they're talking about how to play Euro. So they're just discussing upon the conditions at which you should be playing Euro, which should be in the graveyard right now. Yeah. So you just choose the cards when you do this, right? And yeah, that's what we're discussing about, I think. Yeah, they're not really worried about the rest. So not much to say about these things are control-ish decks. So they're going to waste their hands right now. Except I think that Mars on the bottom is playing a little, I say a little more cantrips and extra draws, so he should be having more cards in hand. Also, from what I see and from what you see, the arena is being literally flooded by lands. Like, so far, nothing's been exiled, I think, yeah. So the arena player played 1, 2, 3 cards only, and the arena. The rest was just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lands. And needless to say, Field of Ruin is not going to be very helpful. Could potentially cut one of the 2 green sources, but I can tell you all the green spells in Mars decks are 1 green only. There's no blue-green, 2 green. The only thing that requires 2 green is the commander itself, so it's not really a problem if they cut down the green. So balance was played. And all right, there is an attack from the arena. It's being blocked. The Quartal is blocked. Of course, it's Death Touch because it's got 3 Snow Island here. So to Plowshares is going to finish wrecking it. That was a bad balance, actually. Very badass balance because the hand was really full. Of course, this is probably the situation where balance shines the most. Balance is a card to make you win when you're not supposed to. When you play like shit and you are really far behind your opponent. I don't know how much Emrakul is going to cost. It's reduced by each card type. And right now, I cannot enlarge this window more than this, which is a shame. There's Sorcery, Planeswalker Land, and Instant. That's 4. Yeah. 4. So Miracle that instantly costs 13 should cost 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 with that. It's interesting. If Euro goes to the yard again, it's actually good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. If Euro goes back to the graveyard, it's actually an Emrakul play. The thing is, playing Emrakul right now is not really that insane. You could just cast Field of Ruin, force the player not to find solutions, and make the arena attack to just die being blocked by an Emrakul. And of course, Emrakul is going to attack after this, so yeah. It's always flying and protection from instance, so it's gonna be pretty easy to win if Emrakul goes live. Let's see. Alright. I'm gonna recycle the sensor, obviously, because you got nothing better to do. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you actually recycle the sensor to a land, it's not really helping. It's just going to allow one more land to be played and advance to the next cast of Emrakul. Pretty damn so far. All the players had nothing in hand, and it was just alright. Alright, and this is a land. So he puts another land on the battlefield, and I think it's going to be able to cast Emrakul right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 plus 4 card types in the graveyard is going to be an insane Emrakul play, and boom! I'm pretty sure this is a win. Yep, that was game 1, and Emrakul gets the win and for like instantly concedes. I don't think he had seen the Emrakul, because he didn't play a discard this game, so yeah. Game 2. Game 2 is going to be decided by Falaka. Who plays first? I think he's going to say he's thinking. Alright, he's not decided yet about playing first or not. He's got everything he needs as a basic mana base, you know, so I mean basic for, not for card types, but for commander, so yeah, he's got every color he needs, a fetcher. Tombstalker gets boosted by the fetch and decided not to keep, so we're gonna have I think a slightly less interesting thing, but Teferi Samuraver is an interesting thing to play. So he decides to keep at 5. He's been doing 2 mulligans, and Morse is going to do 1 mulligan only, and he's got a cantrip with the Wall of Blossom drawer, a Temporal Manipulation, one of the 3 or 4 extra draw he plays. I think I got the list, so I'm going to tell you. It's one of the 1, 2, 3, 3 extra turn he's playing. He's playing 3 extra turn, so yeah. So yeah. Alright, game 2, moving on. It was decided to keep the hands with that. So Moss got pretty good hand right now. The blink is going to help Verena stay at home. And Falaka just decided to put Verena on the battlefield, just to mention that he's playing Verena. Yeah, he just put it to just remind that Verena can be played. So think twice it can be played. Cantrip number 1 found on both sides. So it's cantrip versus cantrip. Yeah, I should be telling you. I actually hate editing the overlay while I'm doing this, but yeah. I'm gonna need to use their real names. Can I change the font? Actually, it's not a good idea to have this one. I got some pretty good stuff fonts in my computer, but this one is not really easy to read. Let me pick up an easy font to read, and that will help. This one has too much holes in it. Yeah, and I need to put it a little more discreet, right? So game 2, so Teferi Time Rattler as usual being played, and oops, let me remove that from your face because it's not interesting for you guys to see. Why is Twitch doing this to me? I'm gonna put the scores in the middle of the screen or on top maybe. Is it readable when I've put it on top? I think it's readable, right? Yeah. I didn't see that coming, so yeah, there you go. I hope it's fine and readable. Yeah, you were on the first. With a Dumbass and Miracle being cast from nowhere. And right now it seems like Tholucker actually just brought back from the dead some bad starting hand and mutated it into something playable actually. Yeah, sorry guys, I almost finished eating. I'm very sorry. I knew I was streaming today and I went to bed a little too late. So I'm pretty set off today. I'm not really completely ready. I just had a shower, actually, which is very fine. Right. There could be a time warp, like, which is Time Spiral played. No idea what's going to be played right now. It's both players are looking at each other. They got at least, and I would say at least 2 reactive things in hand. No counter spells on the bottom, but could be. Could be. Could be. And and I finished eating, right? So blink of the eye, sorcery speed. Because of Teferi Time Rattler. One of the best Planeswalkers addition for years to this format, actually. And the odd thing is that Teferi actually really is very good against other Teferis, which is really insane. If you play this in Standard or Brawl or whatever, it's actually really insane. It's played in Modern too, and it's really interesting. The static ability from Teferi is just blatantly stupid, but it's really interesting. Well, I don't know. I would say people have to choose a few kills, and the thing is, what they're in at choice right now is not to play zombie, tribal, whatever stuff, or take advantage of graveyard filling abilities. So Tholucker built it as a control deck. I've seen some other versions that actually play more, I don't say childish, I'm just say tribal-like, So there are legendary delve spells. I mean legendary in the way of remembering them. You've got, of course, ahead of them Dig Through Time and Treasure Cruise, that are both banned in this format. Don't even start me on that. I'm not going to tell you what I think about it. It's a good idea, but it's banned. And of course, we still got one of the first delve cards that was the emblematic card from the Time Spiral cycle, which is Doomstalker. So Doomstalker is still, I would say still, a pretty good card actually. It's been faded slightly because it used to be a fucking huge fat ass thing, but right now everything is fat ass. So it's not even it's just a random rare right now, but it's still good. And also, if you don't find a solution, we're still playing with 20 life. So yeah. Logic Knot is one of the things that are said. It's really less emblematic, I would say. You know, I think people know Tombstalker because of the other formats. Actually, Tombstalker was played in the old school extended. For those who remember, it was played in a new school extended while it lasted. It was tried in modern a little, and I think it's still played in some very specific Legacy decks. There is a deck that still plays Tombstalker in Legacy, I think. As usual, you know, you gotta have things to kill. So if you're not playing green, you don't have the not blue but green for an accidental thing, Tarmogoyf. I'd say Tombstalker fills the gap of being a black Tarmogoyf for this deck, especially, you know. Yeah. Gourmag Angler was just close to the stats, not flying, but just only one black. So this quickly went to a point where it was played a lot, because one mana spell, as you know, is not 2 mana spell. And when you're talking about the Eternal formats, of course, it's down to how much mana anything costs. So yeah. Also, there is a slight that is that Tombstalker costs 2 black mana, so maybe it's prohibiting some decks from just sometimes having a very small odd of not being able to cast it, you know, and not finding the fetch lands correctly or getting only basics or whatever. Shit happens, you know, you don't know, and of course it's easier to cast Gourmag Angler. So yeah, that there was a choice to make, and yeah, it's been seen quite a lot, actually. The other one I'm thinking about is Murderous Cut. I think Murderous Cut has been also played day one, and it's been increasing in terms of how many times and where it was played. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, Murderous Cut has been a good addition to the decks too. So meanwhile, not really much to comment about this. One of the cool modern additions, Archon Master Lab, which also can be played because all the lands in Euro are snow lands. There are like 20 islands and 4 forests, I think. 2 forests, not 4, 2 forests. So that's 22 permanents. And the Coatl that we saw on the round 1, if you remember, the Iceland Coatl, also is a snow permanent. So that should be 23 snowish permanents played in this deck. And that's all. So yeah. Alright, so this time it was just Mouse was unable to find a good solution, and Tholocuts just found better solutions to handle the situation. So yeah, it was a close game, but he eventually drove the advantage, all being coming back from a mulligan to 5. And like I said, after 2 turns, it was already cool that he found so much good stuff from the top of his deck. So it was actually good. And this time, both players are gonna play full speed ahead because they just decided to both keep 7 cards. So say, why are you asking me are you asking me as a member of the Dual Commander Rules Committee, as a commenter, or as a player? Because my answers could be different. I think knowing the player on the bottom, Mars, and what he likes to play, I'm absolutely not surprised he chose to play mono blue control and the splash things. He does that with all the things, you know. I've been playing like Kyranos or all good old stuff with him, and it was always the same thing. So if you want to enjoy yourself, you could also, for a classic green list with elves and birds and stuff, and go turn 1 Dork, turn 2 Euro, which is also going to be impressively good. But I think the decks leads to something else, and you have to find what to do with your mana at the end of a game. And when you're not really controlling anything, it's complicated. Because when you want the counter spells, you have the elves, and when you have the elves, you want the counter spells. So, aggro / control is harder to build than purely control. So, also, you always feel like you have a choice if you play like that. And of course, both versions allow you to play some heavy mana intensive things, and as you know, all the Eldrazi's are currently filling those gaps, except Miracle, the Inferon, which is banned in this format, but you can play all the other ones actually. I think Miracle at 413 is just unbeatable, and both versions allow you to do this, right? If you green ramp and mana accelerate, which is not, I would not say something ramp. By ramp, I mean like adding lands every turn, and also adding dorks mana every turn. You could actually go to 10 to 15 mana pretty fast, actually. Even though Gaia's Cradle's been banned a long time ago and stuff, but yeah, it's good. It's good. Both versions are good to me. I don't play any of them. I just play Euro in Brawl and Standard, so that's all I know. And Limited, of course, when I find it, but it's not really something you plan. But yeah. Also, I should be putting the hands here. That was what was revealed, and with this Duress. So Force and Demonic Tutor has been thrown out of the way. So there's only one Cryptic Command left. It can be played, it can be cast. No, it cannot. It just cannot be cast. Yeah, the Cryptic Command cannot be cast so far. The Windswept Heath needs to find an island, and there's an island, but still there's a Tundra that can be fetched. So, yeah. If this was another kind of land, maybe he wouldn't be able to cast his Cryptic Command. So Euro was played again, and as you know, it's one of the rare deck lists where you can just send your commander to the graveyard without being worried. Also, to remember, if Euro goes to exile or something else, you can still put it back to the command zone. The rules still apply, so every zone change. And what's happening right now? Marsh Flats. And the Windswept Heath was played also. And Mossjo is drew another land. That sounds bad for him right now. I don't think he's in a good position right now. He doesn't want to play his Captor or Jingzu because getting it to play for nothing is just not really interesting. Mystic Sanctuary is active right now, and could bring Mystic Confluence or Raymond top deck. So yeah, that's basically game for the arena, I think. There's the mana for Cyclonic Rift, of course, but this all depends with what the arena tries to play. So they play their commander, which is not surprising, and they got the negate of the top deck. So yeah. So by the end of turn, Cyclonic Rift is tempted, and I think it's gonna get countered. Thing is, if he finds a good follow-up, it's interesting. And it looks like we're gonna go for a Logic Knot, I think. Finding a Tundra, yeah, a Tundra, and going for the Logic Knot. No, he goes for the negate, which is weird. Because he's not going to have many opportunities once Neomars has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lands. It looks like the game is close to being over. He's going to try to use the Mystery Forest, crack it, have 5 cards in the graveyard, find some kind of a forest. I would say he can find a shockland or a basic forest. Right now it doesn't really matter. And he's just going to try to bring Europe back, take 2, go to 20. Yeah, I would have played Logic Knot actually, but the thing is, Logic Knot just counters everything. But the further game goes, and the harder it is to cast Logic Knot. He's just got 5 cards in hand, plus the negate he just played instead. So it's debatable. I think both choices are correct right now. And Euro's back. Copter of Jingzhu tries to find something. He's going to try to attack. He's going to try to draw 2 more. And he's got another Polluted Delta. Gosh, that's insanely high number of lands. Attack, draw, and it's going to be another land, I'm certain. If he finds another Time Warp, it's going to be cool. And the thing is, Narset is preventing it from drawing more cards. So the game looks like it's probably going to be over. I don't know. Verena can attack and have a Cryptic Command back, and also there's a Cling to Dust here, so 26 is a pretty high number of health points, but on the other side, attacking is fine. Thinking about what blocking, it's not really a good choice that you have, right? Right, it chose to block and keep Narset up. And because Euro, as you know, doesn't trample, for the people who adopt it, is just not a trampling creature. Which would be actually overly stupid, so yeah. Cryptic Command can actually bounce Euro now. So the thing is, Cryptic Command has to be asynchronously played on the attacker or on the spell. So there is still no risk, I think, in playing, and rather he has 5 blue mana on the board. 4 mana, not 5, 4. He could still go for Cryptic Command and have something else up. I don't know what, but he could have. And alright, it is a sorcery speed Cryptic Command to draw. That's kind of an aggressive way of playing Cryptic Command, but yeah. He finds Jace, the Mind Sculptor, but yeah. Cling to Dust. Alright, that's weird. He's just trying to exile the Euro. And that is a very, very institutional card that was played, and I think that is weird. I don't think the card was really... added recently. Yeah, especially since the Mars button player has just kept drawing insane number of lands, and it's not going to be very, very easy to come back from this. For those who ask, if you haven't looked at the ZAP post on the Facebook page, we're going to be live until probably 9 o'clock this night, because we're going to stream all the games one by one. So yeah, that's going to be cool. They're going to be 4, 5, 6, 7 games, right? Because it's a top 8. And he drew a Cryptic Command as well. You could just choose to bounce a land. That would be insane. Counter and bounce, but Narset would just still prevent it. And Logic Knot is going to be ending this pretty well, I think. So there was no Cryptic Command. Force of Will that can be played for 5 mana actually, which is probably the best thing to do right now. And he can actually play a lot of things here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can play both things. Which puts him back into the game actually for a 1 close turn, but not a very easy thing to do now. So they're thinking, right? Passes the turn, goes back to Thalacker, which goes to draw a City of Brass into Brimstone-like Jace's ability with 2 new counter spells in hand, putting them back. Treachery, of course, is not going to do anything special right now. And Alright, I'm just worried that because there are players from the tournament that are in the room looking at the games, but they actually have to, they're authorized to watch the other players' games, so it's okay. Yeah, he's definitely playing High Tide, and right now it looks like the game is pretty locked, but it's just being unfogged each and every turn because both players have done very interesting stuff. And it looks like now it's Thalakker's turn to actually draw more lands than anything else. So yeah. So the Treachery and Revelation come back actually, and that's sort of a new additions from Modern Horizons. Revelation, cool art by the way, cool art. And Fell Push is completely useless, it's a dead card. Stubborn Denial is right now a dead card too because they need Verena to actually do something with it. And yes, it looks like Mars is going to try something. Play his version of Narset. Also, why is my Narset so bad? Why do I have this? I need to rearrange my sets on Coquetry, sorry. I didn't even figure out that the promotional versions were on top of the traditional ones, so yeah. Reign of Revelation. Alright, that is going to be pretty nasty if it resolves. Also, there's a Wasteland and a Cryptic Servant. So far, no dangerous spells. I think Thalacker right now is going to just +2 Jace all the time, but yeah, round is going to be timed up pretty soon actually, which is impressive. I wouldn't have thought the players would just took so much time. They started exactly at 3 o'clock, so 3 o'clock French time, and we're in Paris time right now, as you can hear from my voice and my accent. Everyone is a French here, but not I mean, it's open to anyone, right? No, it's still game 3. I put the scores on top of the screen. It's not really easy to see. Maybe I should. I've just been doing this on the very last moment. Set color. Can I do this? Can only add white text, so I think I'm gonna have to move maybe this or maybe this place, right? I'm just gonna put the scores on the bottom of the screen so you can see them well. I mean, I hope you can see them well. Yeah. Oh, I didn't read the chat, so we got connected, bro. We got the same idea at the same time. Yeah, it's just I just quickly added this to OBS, and I don't think you can actually make some color text first place from OBS. So this is game 3, and the time is going to be up in 3 minutes. As the judge just reminded them in the chat on the right, if you don't speak French, that's basically what the judge Cyril just said. Also, hey Boba Food, bro, what's up? Didn't see you since, let's say, last time I streamed, right? Pretty sure you were here last time. Yeah. Hello from the France. I hope you guys are handling the COVID-19 crisis pretty well at home. We are confined right now in France, as I just said, and it's basically boring because outside is really very beautiful. The harbor had 26 degrees Celsius yesterday, which was cool. My things just dried on the sun very fast, so yeah. I think all the countries are just entering lockdown right now. The US are thinking about it, and in Europe it's close to the same. So yeah, some countries have less people and more space, like the Northern Europe countries, so they don't do this, but it's complicated. Every country is handling this, and as you know, right now in France we got a pretty overly high number of deaths, right? So yeah, we just reached the 10,000 deaths a few days ago, so yeah. Oh, that's bad. That is bad, Tarek, bro. What the hell? Oh, we had a hesitation, but as you know, in France, if you ban alcohol, you just have riots in the streets. So, yeah, it was mentioned in France too, banning the alcohol. Yeah. So. The players are right now. Oh, you know what? I could actually put the scores in the middle of the screen because it's not going to be black all the time because of the way Cockatrice handles free space. So I could put it here actually, you know? I think it's readable if I put it here. Yeah, I think you can read, right? Because otherwise it's gonna overlap the cards. And the people are actually playing a dead state right now. And it looks like it was the final thing. So yeah, Falco won round 1. So yep. Also, we're not going to see the small finals, as we call them in French, the losers finals, because that would be too many games if you were to stream them one by one, actually. So yeah. I'm just gonna pause the stream. I mean, not pause the stream. I'm just gonna put some pause screen, but I'm still here. I need to find a dessert to eat right now, and I think I'm gonna prepare the next game next game I need to remember. I'm gonna tell you what the next game is going to be. I've got the pairings somehow. Game 2 is going to be Heliod, the last one, Heliod versus Kess. It's going to be, I need to find the lists. So Kess Descendant Mage, of course, versus Heliod Sun Crowned. Yeah, I got the list. Right, so Moon White against Blue, Red, Black. And that's going to be quite interesting. Life-based aggro versus flashback-based control, if you can call it like that. So yeah, I'll join the other games and prepare the overlay, but I'm still here, right? I should play some waiting music, right? In the meantime. And let's prepare, all right? And game 2 is going to start pretty soon, actually. Alright, and we are going on to game 2, because game 2 is going to start, and this, oh, that was my face for some reason, and I'm going to change the updates, the scores, the place where the text is placed, and everything else. So right now we've got the mirror, who's at 0, and T-Pex. Okay, and those people are actually, I should just make it a little lower. and I could just put it here on the side because nothing is going to be played here, right? There's never going to be anything in this particular place on the screen. On the other side, there's not going to be anything placed here either, so I'm just going to make it little readable for you. All right, so like I said, the mirror on top is going to play Heal the Soundcloud, which is mono white based on live gain. One of the new additions from, I can actually make the card a little more readable like that. If I do this and just hide the player names like that, I cannot go before, but all right. Yeah, it's just good if I just only put this. Right, and I'm not going to stream the last part of on the right. So, all right, guys, we're back. We are fucking back for this new game. Again, nothing special to say about. Actually, I'm just not going to put the cards that much because if I just put the card too zoomed, you cannot see the board, and I'm going to sacrifice some space on the left for more space on the right, which is much better for you to read actually. And I could just put this slightly on the left again, so that you guys get to see a little more of the cards on the right, like that. All right, that's just better. Sorry, I just set up my Twitch interface like 1 hour ago, so I didn't take a lot of time to do this. And we all lead it with Collective Brutality, which means I'm gonna remove Instant Sorcery card, and I'm just looking at what they say. No, they just agreed on how to play the modes. Lol, please just hurry to say mods. Yeah, you know, of course, it's going to play a modded spell. He's going to tell you why it plays. Okay. So he saw the Enofanza, the Force of Virtue, and the Thalia. So Ocho is the Thalia Gun and Faven, the first one. So yeah, and Thalia got played. And you know what? I think this is enough to really piss Tipex on the bottom high enough, because Case really hates this. And oh, who are then the two players? Like I said, this, as you know, the ZAP is one of the main tournament organizers in France. They're doing international tournaments actually, but it's, you know, located in France, in Palaiseau. And over the last year, they did a monthly series. Each and every month, there was a 100-player tournament on site with paper. And there is also the twice per year ZAP Masters, which reunited 219 and 232 players, I think, last year in 2019. And there was supposed to be a new one in January, but it was postponed, and actually they were close to organizing 3 times per year this tournament, because right now I think the next tournament was going to be over 250 players. But right now, because of the COVID situation, the COVID-19 situation, and this fucking SARS-CoV-2 virus worldwide, everyone is confined at home, so all the tournaments have to be cancelled. And because of that, the whole ZAP team is just jobless, as you could say. They're not doing this as a life job, you know, but they do this as passion. And they had an idea. They took 8 players they chose, right, from the top 8 of the past tournaments of the last years in 2019 and beginning of 2020. They chose 8 players that were good players that performed very well and surprisingly at top 8s. And they asked them to join today, go on Cocatrice, and sorry for the cards not being placed correctly, and make an 8-player, an 8-man dual commander tournament. So those players are actually people who just had a top deck. So I'm not sure. I think they had given their read name and authorization. So case is Gaëtan Piquant from France who been top 8 on the. I'm gonna need to search. I think it was in June. I think. No, it was the one on January. So Gaëtan Piquant was the guy who's playing Kiss right now. Won the January tournament with Will and Rowan Kenrith, so it's not the same deck he's playing today. But he won with Will and Rowan Kenrith in January this year. So he won a 101 player tournament. And the other player is Diego Rio, who won the ZAP tournament. I'm just trying to find. No, he placed 5th position. He went 5th position in February this year. So Diego was 5th position in January on 101 tournament players again too. So yeah, that are the 2 players we are watching right now. And back to the game. So yeah, just to sum up, it was people that the team chose to actually do something, you know, and let's try to be, you know, just trying to be happy players on a Sunday with something to do, so that we just don't get annoyed too much, right? And the last 2 players were Corentin Le Gibbon. There's a French player with a Celtic name, and my overlay is really pissing me off right now. And he won. I think, yeah, he won he won many times. He won many times in top 8. So I think I'm just going to confirm. I think let me check. I think, yeah, he won by splitting, I think, the tournament from October 2019. 98 players. And the other one was Martial Moreau, which is just like me, a member of the Dual Commander Rules Committee, and also top 8. I think the last time it was I need to make sure. I think, yeah, he was 6th on the same tournament in October 2019. Last time he was in the top 8, so yeah. Yeah, that was the thing. I'm trying to find all the decks where he performed. And he recently also played Mono Red for a 33 players tournament and got to lose in finals against Tajik. So yeah. And oh, I think he also finished 12th on the September tournament while playing Niv Mizzet Reborn. So and Corentin, the other player on the last tournament, was also 6th position on this September tournament. So those are people who are actually really used to being in the top 8. So he's part of the team. Actually, he's part of the organizing team of ZAP, and he's always present. He's helping a lot, and he's always attending all tournaments. also this is happening in Paris, close to Paris. Palaiseau is close to Paris. It's just very, very close to Paris. It's just the suburbs of Paris. They're organizing one tournament every month, and he is always attending. And sometimes there were 2 tournaments, just like in January, I think. And he was attending both tournaments as well. So yeah, you can see him very often. He just plays Magic all the time. And right now, back to the game. I think we missed nothing, right? Did we miss a game? Because I was talking a lot? No, I don't think we did, right? Good luck, have fun. Mulligan. Yeah, creative result is this is in game 1, right? I'm just looking at what they say. Cavern of Souls, named Wizard, and yes, they are still doing this. He did the drawing mistakes, but they just forget each other because it's fair. Was a misclick on Coquetries, I think, from inside, a miss keyboard hit. I mean, actually miss key. And playing fetches, going for lifelink. Alright, and so far they're not doing anything. They just played the temporal manipulation that just chose an extra turn. And right now, Kess is about to try to come back on this because from what we see, the healed player has nothing left. But he's attacking with Heliod each and every time, which is really insane. Force of Virtue is here, so all the controls, creatures you control get +1/+1. And we've got this thing that makes everything gain life, so when Gale's life you put +1/+1 counters. And Kess is multicolored, but the deck is just blatantly single color. All the spells, I mean, I'm not going to check, just like Batman. I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spells. No, 9 spells. 9 spells only that are multicolored, plus the commander, what makes 10. So only 1/10 of the deck is multicolored. So the Soldier of Pantheon could be a trigger, and it's actually very good against pretty much anything. Also, it's protection from multicolor. So no way Kess hits it as long as that's on the battlefield. So yeah, the thing is, Mystic Confluence is a protection actually right now for Kess because it's close to doing what Cryptic Command does on this particular scene. And also can bounce the Soldier of the Pantheon, so yeah. They're just discussing. Yeah, this way the text box is they're just discussing with the stream team and the judges how to show the zones, and yeah, it's okay. They're just reminding that they are free. If they just do like this, they can show the zones. It's not really amazing in Coquetry this part. You cannot zoom it. You can just adjust it to less, which is fun, but you can just go not higher than this. So yeah. I could show you the graveyards if I wanted to, just like that. But it's not really what you want to see, right? Alright, they're just discussing about attacking right now, and I think he's gonna try the Mystic Confluence thing, drawing more planes. Heliod, of course, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, it's just devotion other than 5. So Mystic Confluence is gonna bounce things. I think he could just bounce, draw. And I think that's what it's going to do. Bounce, draw. If there was a flash white spell right now, it could be in a danger zone, but Heliod is not a creature anymore. And you can see players are just displaying it correctly and even people are just trash talking the people from the last games. Okay, so as you can guess, he's just replaying everything that was bounced. He's just adding counters and using the bolster ability from an offensa. You know, whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield, you control, you bolster one, which is you just add a +1/+1 counter on the creatures, one of your creatures you have with the least toughness. So that was a creature from how is this? I'm just missing the edition from this land cycle. I just fucked up with the edition name, you know. It was from this edition where you got the fetch lands and Dragons of Tolkien. Yeah, that was from Dragons of Tolkien. And I should, if I place the grave here, you're missing a little part of it. Like that. Right, so Idyllic Grange is ETB, so they just chose to put a +1/+1 counter on an offensa. And why is he pointing at them both? I'm missing something probably. Yeah, he just put some 2 arrows by mistakes. So yeah, the counter goes on an offensa, and Feral Push is going to kill it. Actually, right now, the things have become dangerous for the white player, because even though Kess is at 1 is not 0. And I think Jace, Wheeler of Mystery, is not going to be helping a lot, actually, but why not? And Damnation actually solves most of the problems, except you lose your Kess. And of course, Kess has a lot of opportunities in the graveyard. They got Toxic Deluge again, which is going to be prohibited by the 1 life points, as you can guess, and Kess doesn't gain life and cannot use this Talisman of Dominance to make blue or white or black mana. They got Inquisition of Kozilek again, they got Feral Push again, and Mystic Confluence again, if they want to, right? On each of your turns. So it's not going to be a counter spell, right? But it's going to be something. So Heliod is a blocker, is an attacker, and Kess is a blocker. So commanders are fighting. How emblematic is this? You tell me. And Grant Abolisher is also something bad. Right now, the thing is, anything that has 2 white mana in their stuff is going to be condemning. Oh, Drawn in the Lock is actually now a good thing to bounce anything. So yeah, I think it's going to Drawn in the Lock the Grant Abolisher, which is a decent choice. Or no, he's just going to Feral Push and keep the Drawn in the Lock, because Drawn in the Lock is a counter spell next turn if you just kill these 2 main creatures. If there's just 2 damage, are we done? Yeah, I just found another creature, right? Selfless Spirit is actually good against Damnation. So yeah, it's still, right now it's still in the favor of Kess, but as you have seen, things could turn rapidly in the favor of one player or the other. So I wouldn't bet too much right now on who's going to win this game. I'll just find a decent something to drink. Be right back. So, Jace Runes of Mysteries is not one of the best defending spells you could wish for, because it doesn't actually do anything right now. It just allows him to draw more and have more opportunities to just fight back with Kess. So right now Heliod is not a creature, and the Selfless Spirit is a 3/2. So it's not going anywhere, but also this is a flyer. So if Kess dies and one random creature comes back, it's not going to be helped, like Snapcaster Mage won't be able to block it. So right now, I would say, it's weird to say so, but it looks like Kess blocking is actually a thing. One of the things that keeps this game on. And the graveyard has grown. Right now, it's thinking. Okay. So this is basically bluff. Search for scanted triggers, and it's more than probably going to flip. I'm not sure that you want to flip all the time. It's you can't flip. You can keep search for a Scanta or a Scanta have a Sunken Rune, but this is very debatable. You can just keep anyone. Scanta is just better but instant speed and requires mana, and filtering your top deck is good too, but at least you get an extra draw, so you can have this. Also, so he just milled the Liana of the Ville and Volcanic Island, choosing then to draw a Polluted Delta. If I could just put this here, you would see the difference. Alright, there's nothing hidden under the cards on bottom. So, yeah. Needless to say, right now there's very few options to come back from for Heliod, but actually any option is a comeback. So that's really weird of a situation, but I would say as long as Drawn in the Lock is up, as long as there is one reaction spell, which is probably going to be a counter spell, but not only on Kess's side, this game is for Kess. Even though is at 1. And I'm pretty think yeah. I pretty think it's not going to be insane. Alright, he just threw a Snow Clump Plains, and I think the game is over right now, but maybe I choose to keep this one fighting. Who knows? No, he just goes to the end and say go. And there is going to be an end of turn Scanta Sunken Rune activation. Looking at the top 4 cards and trying to reveal a non-creature, non-card, and putting in your head. and the rest at the bottom of the library. So he chooses Narset Porter of Deals. Needless to say, the rest was going to be very bad, I think, because Narset is not really something you want to draw right now. He cannot use his Polluted Delta, and there comes a Command Tower. So Jace, the Prince Prodigy on battlefield, is going to be activated, so you draw this card. As you know, this one is a banned commander, but you can play in the deck, so you draw this card, and if you can return it flipped. So yeah, now it's just Telepath Unbound, which is a Planeswalker that is actually really good, because it just shutdowns enemy creatures, which is fine, and also allows you to cast sorcery and instant speed from your graveyard. So yeah. Not really going to talk about the emblem. The emblem means you mill your opponent when you cast a spell, which is hopefully going to happen, but it's not really that easy. Also, for those of you, remember there was a time you couldn't have those two planeswalkers at the same time on the board, but right now you can. Since 2012, I think? I'm not sure. Yeah, 12, I think. So yeah. Narset is going to -2 instantly, trying to find someone on the top cards. Finds a Cryptic Command, which is more than something you want to draw. Right now, the white player should be conceding, because Cryptic Command is just going to be condemning. Also, TPX on the bottom still has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana up, so it's more than you need. I think he can even try to attack right now, and it looks like he's trying to do. Yeah, he's attacking. Yeah, that was exactly what I was trying to think. Now he's not threatened anymore by anything played by Heliod. Even though they got 2 cards in hand, just go run the lock plus Cryptic Command's got more than enough blue mana. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, not that much. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 blue mana up. That's enough. Yeah, he can play Cryptic Command and draw in the lock. Because the Blood Crypt makes the black mana that you need. So yeah, it has to be very well calculated, because each of their mana has to be taken very carefully if they had to play Cryptic Command and drawn in the lock on the same turn, but they could. So they actually got this deck completely topped. So another turn is playing something, is just using a Scanta, right? So once again, using a Scanta. Scanta doesn't find a land, so right now I think he would just like to draw land, because Prismatic Vista is also losing, and Darkleaf Shores actually is going to be the next land play actually for Tipex, because this actually goes to the bottom, but he could filter it and draw this card. Alright, this is a concession that I think we also coming. That was quite mandatory, so Tipex won the first game. Boom. And Kess got it. Alright. Why did they say F2? Oh, it's just asking about the shortcut to concede the game. It's not the shortcut that you want to learn and remember, right? You should actually click on concede. But I suppose if you want to remember the shortcut for that, is a good idea. Alright, so back to 0. Yeah, because not all the players are used to Cockatrice, so and it's not about X-Mage or not. Some players just don't play online a lot, so I suppose that's what they are discussing so much about how you handle the software situation. So yeah. Also on the bottom for Tipex, we got actually 3 lands. Enter the God Eternals, which is one of the latest additions to this deck, which is fun. He chooses immediately to go on a mulligan, and this mulligan is absolutely not good. He's gonna have to go back to 5. He goes to 5. Oh, this is insane. He just got nothing, and he's going to have to go to 4. Keep 4 cards in hand, and wow. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, keep it 4. Meanwhile, Demir is keeping his starting hand which has basically what it needs: Gideon Blackblade. Didn't pay attention about the professional one, and Healer's Hawk, turn 1, and Selfless Spirit or Samurai turn 2. Also, Samurai of the Pale Curtain is devastating against Kess. Because really... Okay, so game 2, guys. Game 2 is absolutely in favor of Demir on top, who, despite his demon name, is playing mono white. Needless to say, this is a good story for him. I don't see how this could just turn 1 path, turn 2 Sunken Runes, and wait for the death. Also, he's got a turn 1 Healer's Hawk, and this is flying, so it's going to be pretty annoying. Let's see. Because also the white player lost the game, so white players is on the play. Yeah, the Sunken Runes is real sick, but I think that he drew actually a Signet, so it's not so bad, but right now he's going to just play those 2 things and wait for death, so I don't really think this is going to be crazy, right? The Bushido also is a thing, but it's not enough to kill Kess. So, let's see. I still think he's going to try to counterspell, countering the whatever gets to be played on turn 3. Flagstone's ETB, then we got Elspeth Knight Ram's going to create 1/1 tokens and boost and get Flyer. So, it's going to be pretty hard. I think right now it's more interesting to play Gideon Blackblade than to play Heliod, because next turn if you get to play Gideon and Heliod, it's really crazy. You lose 1 attack tempo, but you gain so much 2 turns after this that is crazy. And he drew a swamp, so Tipex drew a swamp. Needless to say, anything's gonna get countered, but the thing is, there's gonna be follow-ups. Look. So he attempts to play Heliod. Alright, so Heliod gets rejected. And will now cost 5. And still is getting smashed. Yeah. I think those 2 creatures are going to be slightly annoying right now. Collagen's command deals 2 and can kill 1 of them. And there's no artifact right now in this game, so returning a creature is not going to happen either, so Collagen's command is going to make the opponent discard a card. If he goes for the command, and I think no, he just chooses is it Signet plus Fire Rise. So Fire could be a thing here. Fire is actually really good in this case. So yeah. Very emblematic that he got the Fire, the Izzet Signet and the Izzet spell that is completely playable by just tapping the Izzet Signet, which is fun because this prevents playing 2 spells with black mana inside. So 2 committed mana spells with black mana inside. So yeah, exactly. So that was a pretty good sequence of draws. But the thing is, Elspeth is just insanely going to add value now. And also, needless to say, I've never seen anyone reach the Elspeth emblem and lose a game. So I'm just still trying to see it happen, right? All right, trying to get flying. I'm not in that position, and we knew the hands, but seriously, if I was on this position, I would just have added a token instead of trying to go for the aggro plan. Because the beat down curve is more interesting when your opponent is at 4 than just trying to spike the damage, but why not? They're just wondering if this goes to the exile, and I think it goes Samurai with Pale Curtain. I think it goes Well, I don't think so now. Yeah. I think it does. Yeah. There was a question that was raised in the chat in French for those of you who don't speak French, whether the samurai goes. And weirdly enough, they didn't switch commanders. I'm wondering if switching to Thalia or anything else would have been a good idea. I think it would have been a good idea. Mono White is the great winner of commander swaps, and I think swapping Heliod for Thalia would have been an interesting idea, but I don't know. They didn't choose. So Dimir didn't choose to commander swap this game for reasons that he actually thought was a good idea. I mean, the whole deck is built around Heliod too, so it's not abusing Heliod abilities, but it definitely does something out of it. So yeah. And Kess is back with some pretty defensive spells right now, which is insane. Was not supposed to happen. Path of Ancestry is going to also see an activation, which is going to help with Scry 1. Elspeth is going to pump again. Alright, pump the soldier. Elspeth is at 7 right now, so Colagan's command is going to shut down one more attacker. Boom. And is this a Fortnite stream? If you are new to Twitch, which happened to everyone, you've got the category just down below the stream name, so you can see what game is being played right now. And if you haven't seen what a Fortnite stream is, you should probably look at overly ugly cartoonish things trying to build stuff on wood in the air, and it doesn't look like this. So no, this is not a Fortnite stream. And if you're asking about my streams, which I don't think you are, but so I'm gonna answer you. I also stream Magic Gathering on paper sometimes, on Magic Arena lots of the times, and also other games like Doom Eternal this time, and I'm playing Apex Legends each and every day that is made too, so yeah. Alright, so this one was a victory for Dimir, and boom. Alright, they got 10 minutes left to play this game. It's right now in France, if the time is 4:35 in the afternoon, so they still have exactly 10 minutes right now to do this. And I think this time the difference is both players have very good hands. I mean, very good. By very good, I mean no overly decisive things, just interesting things. Cavern of Souls is really good against control, except that Kess is not a counterspell heavy deck. It's just that some counterspells, lots of them, but it's actually also uses lots of removal, blast, and stuff, because sometimes it's just good when you get the opportunity splash, or just like we saw with the Collegan command, and to just blast something that is small, and also have a little extra value like a discard, a bounce, or anything else. So sometimes, yeah. And as you can see right now, there's no counter spell, and Fell Push and Him to Turret. That's gonna be pretty good actually. Except that Cavern of Souls doesn't help paying the second black mana for Him to Turret. So this is gonna stay at bay, but a Shivan Reef is decent, and Cavern of Souls is decent too. And Cavern of Souls is going to help as well. So Command Tower is against again one more time pretty abusively played. It's pretty insane land. So yeah, I mean, there's no other land that just does better at performing commentary. It's just a land that says anything you do is just anything possible for anything that you could do in this game is here. So enjoy yourself. So one of the latest additions, of course, apart from the commander itself, from the latest editions is a Slate of Lights bounty that actually gives protection from whatever color you choose this to be if you sacrifice it. And there's also lifelink by default, so it's a pretty good turn one. But opponent goes for Tomic, which is one of the cards that was out this June, I think, yeah, June, or March. I don't remember which. What was it? What the spark was April 2019, I think. And yeah, so he got absolutely denied by this Final Push. So this prevents lands from being used on because they cannot be abusive. You know, they cannot be targeted by spells or really when I control. So you don't get to use Wasteland, you don't get to use anything else. But actually, this still doesn't stop Rumination. No, so it's a good choice. And also it's a 2/3 flyer for 2. So yeah, that's good. And it just randomly does something against like Titania, but not all of it. Just really a small part of it. But it's really interesting. So yeah. He names God. Dieu is God in French, so the Cavern of Souls names God, and they go for Heliod's and so Dark Petition. I remember playing Dark Petition a lot when it was the era of Dark Petition decks in Standard, green, black, new control-ish stuff. That was crazy. That also reminded lots of new players that you can play control without blue, which was really fun because people thought control is about counter spells. And Dark Petition, as you know, is just a conditional conditional dark ritual plus demonic tutor. So that is fun. That is a really good fun card to play in Heliod. So yeah. And right now, there's something happening on the white part is that he drew Vigilant Martyr, which is a very old card. Let's say you sacrifice it and you regenerate target creature. It's actually interesting and doesn't prevent Bolt Sweepers like Damnation or Wrath of God, but it's actually working. And you can counter an enchantment in play. That is interesting because Heliod is an enchantment by default. So that's a defensive mono white protection thing. And Phyrexian Revoker is not going to have many things to be named actually, so it's not really a good thing here. And Dexos is really good. So as you can see, this deck relies heavily upon the latest edition. So yeah. And oh, the channel's being raided by trolls. I like it. So yeah. And nothing's gonna happen right now. The Him to Chirac is gonna settle down things pretty well right now. Because Of course, there's a risk. Opponent wants to discard anything but Daxos. I think Daxos is the thing that you want to do. Yeah, they're just explaining how to discard things at random, and so you say reveal card at random and you choose it and you get to discard it. So Daxos is unfortunately the first one to go. So he just tried twice to reveal a random card in his hand. He just revealed Daxos twice for me. And yeah, he's just not used to yeah. So he's revealing Phyrexian Revoker. I'm gonna show the graves now too, because now the graves are starting to fill up. Especially Kess's grave, which is not really helping me by putting Kess here, but I'm trying to keep up. Yeah. Oh, look, like it's just he drew another Force of Virtue. That's interesting, very fun, you know. Flash, no creatures get +1/+1. It's fun. This instantly activates. He chose to not play his Force of Virtue and get one more attacker. It's fun. Attack for 1. This time it's gonna make a +1/+1 counter to go on the Alzade, of course. Yes, and then that's gonna be the end of this turn. And it looks like so far Kess is a little ahead, but it's not going to last for a long time. Force of Virtue is going to be a sticker because Kess's color don't handle very well enchantments, whether or not they are legendary, whether or not they are indestructible. So yeah. So yeah, that's weird. So, Inquisition of Kozilek, interesting, it doesn't remove the Force of Virtue, so that was a very well played, a very timely play to play the Martyr instead of the Force and just wait for things to happen. So, also with that he was sure that the Vigilant Martyr would protect the Alzade. Oddly enough, Vigilant Martyr can protect Alzade, Alzade can protect Vigilant Martyr, and they can just sacrifice, each of them can be sacrificed to just protect anything else, so that's oddly fun. Also, Kess is reaching the correct number of lands right now, so it's going to be pretty soon the end of Heliod for this game, I think. Also, now Kess is a blocker for this. I am missing something. Yeah, he's playing Force of Virtue. Alright. And it resolves, so now he's got creatures to attack. And they reached the additional turns, so actually that might be a draw, because it's going to be hard to win this game for both players right now. So yeah, they got extra turns, but the thing is, as long as you use extra turn, you actually get to get all the additional turns, so that's pretty hard. Yeah, the Martyr is really interesting. It protects everything, and the Alzade protects only the creatures, but it's actually fine. So now right now there were extra turns, so I think he finished the turn. Let me check the timestamps. Yes, I think he was announced during the turn, so he gets to finish his turn. Then Kess took an extra turn, so there should be 4 more turns after this one. So it should be 1 for Kess, 1 for Demir, for Tipex. 1 for Tipex, 1 for Demir, 1 for Tipex, 1 for Demir after this one. So if you just reversed the order of additional turns by taking the extra turns by taking an additional turn. Hard to state, actually. This one is hard to state. So this is going to be very, very tense right now, because getting to win in 2 turns is actually something Helios could do, but the thing is not going to be able to do it. So especially now that the extra turn has entered the battlefield, so he's going to replay after playing this Dragon's Call Summit for no reason. Dragon's Call Summit, ETB untapped. Kess is attacking. Kess is going to try to kill, which is not going to happen, unfortunately. Maybe fetching a lightning bolt or some very kind of special extra damage is at stake, but no, it doesn't look like it's going to be very insane. So he plays Dark Petition again, this time for this hand. So he's going to search for library for a card. He's got Spell Mastery now. He's got 7. He's got 7 cards, among which of them are 2 instant sorcery cards. So he's going to add 3 black to the mana pool. The Leaking Mana is going to be added for blue Volcanical and blue Command Tower. There's a new Time Warp, and he gets all the extra turn, and I think Kess is going to force the draw on this, because he will not be able to kill in 5 turns. Also, they can be blocking stuff from his opponent, so I think taking all the turns is not going to be enough. But, that might be something. Also, for those who ask, I'm not showing my face right now on webcam because it doesn't look like a good idea, and also it does take part of the screen area, so you don't want to see my face. And the thing is, he's got 4 extra turns, so Kess alone deals 12. I think he's short 3 damage, but he could just go Dark Petition and Lightning Bolt on his face, because Alcide and Vigilant Martyr don't protect the player. I think he's got 1 shot, 1 very small window to win. And Moobot, what are you doing? Oh yeah, I forgot to remove the Moobot and the Moobot extension, because Moobot just say, hey, you're playing Magic. You got the MTGA cards, and no. I don't. I should deactivate Moobot right now, but it's a very boring thing to do, so I'll just Moobot talk in the channel and broadcast my my latest MTGA deck that was not supposed to be here today, but it's probably lost somewhere in the limbs of the internet. So Kess is just going for the extra turns, attacking over and over. It's gonna get blocked at some point, and I think the Heliod player is going to block at some point. I've had to say I didn't keep track of how many turns were left, but the the judges are just keeping track of it. So turn 3, turn 3. So there's just 2 extra turns to lose, and whoa. He goes Fiery Confluence your face 3 times, and Fiery Confluence deals 2 damage to each opponent. So he's he's Fiery Confluencing twice, right? Yeah, he won the game. Yes! Yeah, Fiery Confluence played twice is enough damage to get a 1-shot out of the things to play and replay. So yeah, that was 12 damage out of 9, so yeah. That was interesting, bro. Just gonna pause the things and put some